Okay, now my laptop is all fixed up, just in time for me to get pretty sick. Yep, the ears, the coughing, the sneezing, even the nose a bit. But I got some catching up to do, so let's do this. The Wild Robot. So The Wild Robot is the newest film from DreamWorks Animation. It's based off of a children's book that I'd never really heard of before this. But it's directed by Chris Sanders. That's a big selling point with me. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, Lilo and Stitch, that's Stitch. So this movie revolves around Roz, a robot voiced by Lupita Nyong'o. She washes up on an island that is untouched by mankind and learns to befriend all the animals living there. And the basic plot focuses on the bond that she has with this little baby goose she names Brightbill. Roz raises Brightbill with the help of a fox named Fink, voiced by Pedro Pascal, and the movie goes on from there. Now, I just heard praises about this movie before going into it. People are saying it's one of the best movies of the year, one of the best animated movies they'd seen in a while. One guy I know on Twitter said it's his new favorite animated movie of all time, period. So I was like, wow, alright, this movie's not messing around. Cool, I'm in for a tearjerker, let's do it. And I walked out going, that was cute. That's what happens when a movie's overhyped for you, you know? Yeah, that's kind of what happened with me, for the most part. I'm not saying I didn't like the movie at all, I did love it, it was great. But I can think of a couple of movies I've seen this year that I like more than this one. That's all I'm saying. Alright, let's talk about Roz. Now, a lot of people are comparing this character to WALL-E or the Iron Giant, and justifiably so, for sure. But for me, she mostly reminded me of Baymax from Big Hero 6, not only because she has the same kind of facial design, but because of the way she acts at first. She's always going around like, are you in need of assistance? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance? Again, not really a bad thing. In fact, like a lot of these WALL-E, Iron Giant, Baymax stories, you grow really emotionally attached to this droid. There's something about these stories about robots like this that just never fails to hit you in your heartstrings, you know? I've always loved stories like this, and that's not going away anytime soon. And Lupita Nyong'o did a great job as Roz's voice. Although I would say the other scene stealer in the movie is Fink the Fox, voiced by Daddy Pedro Pascal, who pretty much is Nick Wilde from Zootopia, just incarnate for DreamWorks. He acts like the sly fox he is, what can I say? And yeah, I will say Pedro Pascal was a pretty good pick for him. The guy's a pretty diverse actor. Still not 100% certain that he's Reed Richards, but there is certainly a reason he's so popular right now, because he's good. This character was pretty funny, he had his great moments, as well as really emotional ones. The other main character, that would be Brightbill, the young goose that Roz and Fink raise, voiced by Kit Connor when he's older. And you know, he's the kid that you want to root for, because he is in fact a runt among all the other geese. The other geese who see him as a weirdo because he was raised by a robot. So there's that dynamic going on, but where it all comes home is the bond between Roz and Brightbill. It is that mother-son relationship, and that's a huge part of the movie. It's pretty much the main emotional center of it. And that is where I will say, for me, I didn't really connect with it as personally as I guess everyone else did. Because I'm not a parent, I am of course somebody's son, but I also don't really plan on being a parent, at least not to any humans. Although I have been a father of 3 dogs that I miss every day though, so there is that. But still, that was the main factor of me going, okay, I'm enjoying watching the movie. For me, what really grabbed me in this movie for most of it was the animation, for sure. This is a beautiful, beautiful movie. It's gorgeous to look at. The animation style is really unique. Everything looks like it's painted like brush strokes. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Made it look just absolutely stellar. There are some awesome shots in this movie. With the color schemes and everything, yeah. But that's really what was keeping me warm for most of this movie, for like 85% of it. Because the story, as good as the writing was, again, I was like, it's cute. It's a fun, cute little movie for kids, you know? But I guess it's just not really grabbing me as much as Transformers 1 did, for example. Then the last 15 minutes of this movie happened, the big finale, and I was like, alright, yeah, there it is. Of course, I'm not gonna tell you what happens. You're gonna have to go see it for yourself. No spoilers here. But yeah, everything comes to a head, and it did remind me a lot of WALL-E, which I would tell you why I love that movie so much, but I do have my own separate review of it. I'll put it on the outro screen so you can check it out. But yeah, the last 15 minutes of this movie is really what made me go, alright, yeah, this movie really is great. And again, to be clear, I was enjoying the movie until that point. I really have nothing bad to say about it. The voice acting is fantastic, the animation is beautiful, the story and writing are really good, as is the musical score, which was composed by Chris Bowers, whose name I've been seeing more and more lately. And yeah, this was a great score. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go out of my way to listen to it again, but it completely worked in the movie. When the emotional scenes wanted to hit, the score was right there to accompany them. Plus, there are a couple of cool songs in this movie too. One during a montage scene that was great. It reminded me of the Owl City song To the Sky from Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. You remember that movie? That song played during the montage scene. It was awesome. Same kind of vibe here in The Wild Robot, and that's never a bad thing. So guys, in the end, for me anyway, The Wild Robot just barely makes it into my top rating. But yeah, I do gotta give it to this movie, because again, I really can't say anything bad about it. If I try, I'd be really trying. I'd be reaching for flaws, and I don't want to do that. It's a great movie for families, especially ones with kids. And yeah, you already know it. For The Wild Robot, I will say, go see this movie right now. And yeah, they gave me this little cardboard build your own Roz. This thing was so cheaply made. I like it though. And there was a little post-credit scene that's pretty cute, so stick around for that if you want. So, The Wild Robot. Have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And what's your favorite DreamWorks movie of the past few years? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, like I said, I got some catching up to do. Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power Season 2. Gotta catch up on that. Peace!